The beaches may not be far away, but the Predators find themselves inside the BB&T Center as they wrap up their regular season series with the Florida Panthers. Our broadcast is brought your way by your Middle Tennessee Toyota dealers. Let's take a look inside. Roberto Luongo leads his team out of the runway onto the ice, and then it was Carter Hutton getting the Predators led onto the ice surface as well for this afternoon's match. Good afternoon to you. Pete Weber along with Stu Grimson way upstairs here in the BB&T Center. And for the Nashville Predators, yesterday, Stu, a huge game as it turned out to be, a win over the Rangers, and for a personal milestone for Mike Ribeiro.
Yeah, Fred's top playmaker was frozen at 699 career points heading into the Ranger game. 699 career points, but he had plenty of chances in the early going. Let's take a look at one of them. Terrific play to him down low. Watch this. Layup to Forsberg in the blue paint. Oh my gosh, the patience he demonstrates, and that creates this scramble. And then an opportunity a little bit later. He says, if you guys aren't going to bury it for me, I'll bury it myself. Outlet pass by Jones, and there you have it. Big blast from the outside, just above the tops of the circle. 700th career point for Mike Ribeiro versus the Rangers. Congratulations, Mike.
How about the productivity of the D-men?
Yeah, they really have been sensational. One of the top pairings in the NHL, Josi Weber. Josi selects the driver from the ladies' tees and pounds it. Big goal right there. Quick on the heels is partner Shea Weber, and that'll effectively push this one to a 2-1 game. Quick turn of events. Those goals come within 40 seconds of one another. Look at the bomb. You can clock that one somewhere north of 100 miles an hour, I'm sure. Fools Camp Talbot out the far side. Key night for the Preds' top defensive pairing, turning this one around in the Preds' favor.
But an injury for a key performer, Colin Wilson.
Not sure there's been a hotter Nashville Predator over the last 20-plus games or so. Girardi gives him a rough ride. He does come back to play in this game, but upper body injury, he's unavailable for tonight's contest. Preds are listing him as day-to-day.
Now these Florida Panthers trying to get closer in the playoff race here in the Eastern Conference. And one youngster we have seen the last couple of years really coming of age, Nick Bjugstad.
He really is. He's playing exceptionally well. Big body guy, terrific hands for a guy his size. That's the first-round pick of 2010 is Nick Bjugstad. He had a solid year last year, 38 points, 76 games. He's looking to add to career best this year. He's a menace in the offensive zone. Terrific patience with the puck.
And let's talk about the rookie who was second in scoring, a defenseman, Aaron Ekblad.
First overall pick, 2014 draft, the Florida Panthers. He has stepped in and done a tremendous job for these guys, playing at a top pairing role. He is number 2 defenseman alongside Brian Campbell, and he is carving out all kinds of minutes and responsibility for these Florida Panthers. A lot of responsibility, 18 years of age.
Oh, man. And now here's the situation for the Predators, trying to come up with their second win in back-to-back sets here today.
Haven't had a lot of success in that respect. 1-3-2 in this situation. We'll get into it a little bit later in the broadcast, but Coach Laviolette trying some different things here as they approach this one, back end of a back-to-back in Florida versus the Panthers.
All right, get ready to spend your Sunday afternoon with us here from Sunrise, Florida. It's the Predators and the Florida Panthers coming up in just a few moments' time right here on Fox Sports Tennessee.
This Nashville Predators broadcast is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Nashville, by Bridgestone, your journey, our passion, by Fifth Third Bank. Stop by Fifth Third Bank to learn how you can be the seventh man. Fifth Third Bank, member FDIC, and by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt.
Ready here from the BB&T Center in Sunrise. Pete Weber and Stu Grimson. Let's take a look now at our starting goaltender today, brought to you by Toyota.
Bobby Lou, Roberto Luongo for the Florida Panthers. 19, 13, and 8, 2.46 goals against, average .918 save percentage, and 2 shutouts on the year. He stopped 29 of 31 shots at a 3-1-2 over the defending Stanley Cup champions just last time out. Carter Hutton is 4-4-1, 2.72 goals against, .900 save percentage. He's got a shutout on the year. Stopped 25 of 28 shots in a 4-3 win versus Toronto. And there, Pete, he submitted his application for Save of the Year.
Oh. Did he ever? Mike Fisher as instead of Colin Wilson, Olli Jokinen on his left, James Neal on his right as they shoot it into the Panther zone, getting things underway. Brandon Peary over for Erik Gudbranson. Deflected in by Boland, came right back his general direction. Predators have changed up their D already here as it comes out to Kulikov. Gudbranson rolled on him just a little bit and then poked out of there by Olli Jokinen, the longtime Florida Panther.
Yeah, gets a chance to play here against his former team. Chance to start out there. Face off to get this one going, Olli Jokinen.
Thomas Fleischmann almost had a direct turnover to him. Back through center and fired in as the Predators got back onside. There is Beck with Nystrom flanking Gaustad. Veteran Brian Campbell with the pass to the right wing side at center for Jimmy Hayes. We saw Kevin Hayes playing against the Predators yesterday. Their brother, as that one deflects off Carter Hutton into the corner. Shea Weber from back of the net for Beck. He uses the pitching wedge to clear.
Boy, did he ever. And avoids striking the Jumbotron in the process. That one almost brought rain.
Just barely did he avoid that. Jussi Jokinen waiting for Florida. And that is sent back in by Seth Jones. And tipped over the glass from inside. And how about our Ford Keys today?
Patient but aggressive puck pursuit for these Nashville Predators. Coach Laviolette will come with a slightly modified approach to today's game. Again, playing on the back end of a back-to-back. And put pucks in smart places. Don't go into the middle unless you're 100%. Lay it in behind and keep advancing the battle northward.
Hutton will sweep it over to his left. Up toward Matt Cullen. Got it out to the blue line. Taking the shot, Petrovic. Onto the wall for Cullen, and Järnkrok will take it out. Järnkrok across the line. His shot blocked, got it back, and then set the rebound line. Ekholm to the corner. Cullen trying to turn there on Petrovic. Slid back. Steven Kemper. And Seth Jones comes down to pressure the play. Barkov off to his right side. The return pass deflected off a Nashville stick. Kemper gives it off ahead. Here's Jonathan Huberdeau. And that pass a little bit long there for Brad Boyes. So the Predators take over. Up the wall. Knocked down just outside the line by Kopecky. Taken away now. Back down, low in the zone. Kulikov with Branson. Stepping up. Almost a clean strip of the puck there by Ribeiro. Kulikov inside the Panther line. Volchenkov on now with Bartley. Tapped inside the line there by Peary and comes over behind the net. Here's Kopecky. Struggling there against Volchenkov. McKenzie with a little whack at the puck. And now that line will go off for Florida. And the Predators trying to get a change as well. As the puck deflecting off the stick of Craig Smith. Here now is Dave Bolland. It's the Chicago Blackhawks Alumni Club down there on the left side.
Boy, is it ever.
As the puck comes up, Bolland took a whack at it. Goes behind the net.
Bolland and Campbell, part of that 2010 Stanley Cup winning team.
And you had Peary there also.
No surprise. GM Dale Talon hails from the Chicago Blackhawks organization, so certainly great familiarity with the prospects in the pipeline there.
Peary to the net, and overskating the rebound, Thomas Fleischmann.
Terrific save by Hutton. Fields it well from the left side, steers it hard out the right side. No follow-up opportunity.
Fisher in the trapezoid, turned away from Fleischmann. Gives it back, and starting it back up on ice, Mattias Ekholm. Fired in from the right wing by Olli Jokinen. They go off for a change. Following in deep is Gaustad. Holding on to it, Gaustad. Coming back after it now is Nystrom. Put it right in front. Luongo could not cover it up.
Good drive by Beck.
Now again, out for Josi. Weber slips one low. Picked up by Beck. Remember the scouting report on Luongo. You beat him from behind the net oftentimes. Puck is passed ahead by Jokinen. Jokinen picks up the clear, comes in against Nystrom and loses that battle. Weber tipping on Kemper. Petrovic, as you heard the linesman, hand extended going, that's offside. That's off. Here's Bjugstad, tried to break in and went to his forehand and could not get a clean shot away. Kemper from the point, blocked in the circle.
The block by Weber. Able to turn it the other way for Nashville.
Smith with the shot, went off left pad of Luongo. Onto the right side. Barkov, a blind pass. Predators got a hold of it. Taken back by Barkov to Huberdeau. Returned to Barkov. Huberdeau in across the line. Trying to cross by. And Forsberg broke up the play. Kulikov took it away. Here's Huberdeau. Trying to feather one down. Seth Jones got upended going back after the puck. Huberdeau couldn't flag it down behind the net. Here's Brad Boyes going up the board. Barkov, a bull of a man, and the puck comes out to the blue line where it's held in by Dmitry Kulikov. That's anticipated there by Ekholm. The awareness there of Bjugstad, and that one gets past Barkov. With Branson for the Panthers. Kulikov. Karen Kopetsky ahead of him. Kulikov will carry on, and it's offside at the Nashville blue line with 6:10 gone in the first period. Predators 3 shots, Panthers with 2. None have eluded the goaltenders.
Good look for Florida. Nick Bjugstad threatening on the wide side. Seth Jones does a great job in recovery. He'll give you a chance to look at that. Watch the overlap by Jones now. He's going to collapse down over to the right side, ties up the stick, denies Bjugstad in the process. Good play by the young Preds defender, Seth Jones. He's got points in 3 straight games. Does Seth, on a solid outing last night versus the New York Rangers. An assist, a pair of hits, 3 blocks, 22 minutes, 38 seconds worth of ice time, and that's 13 straight games that Seth has played north of 20 minutes. We've got snow issues.
Yeah, we do. Snow in Florida.
Snow in South Florida. We got issues. To no avail. Our top-notch crack ice crew is on it. We'll remove it and we'll be underway before long.
Oftentimes that happens in the outdoor games.
Seth played over 20 minutes just one time the first 39 games in the absence of Ryan Ellis out with a lower body injury. Coach Laviolette pushing the young defender, number 3, all kinds of responsibility.
Volchenkov around Kopetsky. And Bork's pass blocked, but stepping up and wide of Bork there was Matthias Ekholm.
Delayed offside on the call. Yarncroke back to tag up.
Brian Campbell. And around Carter Hutton. Johnny Upshaw back there for McKenzie. Taken up ice by Matt Cullen. Jab out across the line. Volchenkov is there and returns to Ekholm.
That's probably a situation where Coach Laviolette would like Cullen to go chip in behind, overlap, allow Bork to apply the pressure down low. Cullen unable to get it deep enough. Puck turns over. Nashville's forced back.
Fisher in pursuit. Kulikov there. Turning with it. James Neal comes up. Backhand feed goes wide of Jokinen in the low slot. Kulikov's pass for Goodbranson. Goes wide, and then Bolden gave up the puck. Predators shot it wide from the far corner. And we have a whistle here, and they call for the offside. And we'll bring it out across the line. That gives us our chance to tell you about our injury report, brought to you by Vanderbilt Sports Medicine. And here they are. Ryan Ellis and Colin Wilson for Nashville. For Florida, Sean Bergenheim, Sean Thornton, and Willie Mitchell. So they lose a veteran defenseman the last string of games who have been a pretty good help to them here after coming over from the Stanley Cup champion Kings. Deflected out of the corner by Jones. Onto the ball, and Neal sends it back toward the Florida end. Turning with it, Fleischmann. Goodbranson carries. The shot sticked aside by Hutton off the glass. Tapped at there by Peary. Pulled up now by Bartley. Bentley skates across center. Red got dumped. And now the Panthers had a potential of a 2-on-1. But nice play by Shea Weber to break up that potentiality. Get out of there by Kemper. Shea Weber as the Predators change up their forwards. Yossi curls back away from Bjugstad. Panthers set up in that 1-2-2. Over Craig Smith. Kemper into the corner with it. Forsberg skated by, and the Panthers try to break out. Each side 3 shots on net. Throwing it toward the net. There was another, but they couldn't get the rebound. As the shot was Bjugstad, just a little bit of a flip. Smith missing short side. Yossi pokes at the rebound. Forsberg and Bjugstad. And it comes back up the wall for Jimmy Hayes. Tapped away from Jokinen. A scrum. And between the benches, they dump it back in the Nashville zone.
Terrific gap control by Reds captain Shea Weber. Steps up on Jokinen. Jokinen, he that plays for Florida. Jussi Jokinen forces that turnover.
That one bounces into the Florida Panthers bench.
Typically, Nashville would play a 2-1-2, sending 2 forecheckers hard. Coach Laviolette, freeze it right there, guys. Want to show you, this is the 1-2-2. There are the 2 forecheckers kind of hanging back, sending Mike Fisher in hard, Neil Jokinen hang back. Bit of a conservative approach, trying to bolster his team's chances. Again, just 1, 3, and 2 on the back end of back-to-backs. I think the thinking, Pete, is this will leave the group fresher, just a little more conservative approach, be above the puck.
And that one's headed by Huberdeau, and Hutton made the sliding save and then covers up the rebound.
Good chance here for Florida. Play transition back. That's Barkov on the far wall. Terrific feed by Barkov. Back to Huberdeau, who's found a spot. Soft spot in the coverage. Quick little release by Huberdeau. Carter Hutton with good sight lines. Makes the first stop. And ultimately smothers up.
Up the boards right side, Seth Jones. That goes around Bork. Aaron Ekblad is back to get it. And the Panthers with Campbell break out of their zone. Campbell down the left side. Drive to center. Blocked by Jones. Yarncroke from Campbell. Squeeze up against the boards, and the puck is cleared to center by Matt Cullen.
Smart play by Calle Yarncroke. Probably outmanned, or at least concedes size to the Florida Panthers, battling with uses body to protect the puck, and then ultimately able to clear for Nashville.
Derek McKenzie tried one into the zone, and that one stopped at center by Goodbranson for Florida. McKenzie tips in. Panthers changing here partially the forward. Around Mike Fisher, Kulikov. And that bounces off the heel of the stick, picked up by Perry. That one stopped in the rebound, trying to get to it there, McKenzie. Goodbranson just flips it down, and that goes off the glass. Upshaw tried to make the play. And the puck is gotten away, and the fans help call one there. Tripping the indication from Dave Jackson at center ice. So the Panthers will be on the power play when we return. It's a 0-0 game.
Olli Jokinen collapses down inside the Nashville defensive zone. He's responsible for Brandon Pirri. You can see here, watch, he'll get one hand on the stick. He'll get his stick underneath the right foot of Brandon Pirri, and he'll draw the minor penalty for that reason.
Puck drop and pass back to the point. Right side board, trying to get it across clearly, and Bjugstad got the puck a little bit in tight, but that off the chest of Hutton before the Predators clear it.
And fortunately for the Preds, that play transitions over to Bjugstad. Slowing off, Carter Hutton's able to track it. He shores up the short side and takes all the daylight away from Bjugstad.
Barkov went down low. It's out for Ekblad. Bjugstad right in front of the net. Barkov, as that puck popped up a bit from Huberdeau, and his cross-ice pass also deflected off Bjugstad's stick. Fisher out with Calle Yarncroke. Thrown wide of the net from the right side wall.
Yeah, attempted at the net by Huberdeau. Looking for the redirect.
And that one stolen away from Jimmy Hayes and cleared by Järnkrok.
Jimmy Hayes on that attempt by Huberdeau, unable to get a stick on that and redirect it back on the Nashville net. No chance as a result.
Jumped in. 45 seconds remaining on the man advantage here for the Panthers. Boys for Campbell. To the front of the net, and that going down inside was Dave Bolland, but couldn't get to it. Now a quick one-timer by Peary. Working the sidewall again, Peary. Checking out the traffic as he went inside was Boys, and it came right out in front for Peary. They collide there with Hutton, and there's going to be a penalty here on Dave Bolland, I do believe.
Yeah, it appears Bolland. My best guess on that goaltender interference, he had opportunity to avoid the collision with Hutton. We'll get a chance to look at it here. Play at the net. Right there from behind. Carter Hutton's blind side. Bolland makes contact. Draws the minor penalty. 8 seconds remain on the minor penalty to Olli Jokinen. 4-on-4 till that moment, and then the Preds on the power play. First of the game.
Panthers managed 3 shots during that period of time. And now Olli Jokinen is free of his penalty as Kopecky trying to get a shot on goal. Nashville with the advantage now. They've been outshot 9-3. And it's a 0-0 game. Brought up ice by Forsberg. He has Weber behind him, and his pass, well, that pinball down low with Kopecky out there, along with Derek McKenzie.
Yeah, Kopecky's applying the high pressure to Shea Weber. Weber knows it. He's trying to go real quick off that Forsberg play over to Josi. Kopecky gets a piece of it. Panthers are out of trouble.
Forsberg wrapping it in. Fisher off the left board. And the Panthers Fleischmann able to fire that down ice.
Reds having a hard time getting set up in the offensive zone. Panthers doing a pretty good job. 3 across at the line. Not giving the clean entry.
43, 63, and 15 up front for Nashville. There's number 15, Smith. As Ribeiro tried to burst through. Jussi Jokinen on the penalty kill now for Florida, which has 38 seconds to go. Seth Jones carries. It's a 0-0 game. 5:55 left in the first. Smith was mishandling the puck there, but was able to recover and not turn the puck over.
That little underneath play. You like to bring it up until you face the attack. Lay it back. Seth Jones to Smith. Smith mishandles it. It turns over there for that reason.
Luongo plays. It deflected off Smith's stick, but then they were able to clear the puck down the Nashville end. 5 seconds remaining. Quickly up to center for Ribeiro. Ribeiro in across the line. Power play has expired. Predators had possession maintained for a moment, and now Barkov's pass right side, and Bolland fires it wide to the corner. So the Predators did not get a shot on net during their time with the power play. Kampfer and then Petrovic go back to chase this one down. 5 minutes remaining in the first. Chipped off the board to center. Huberdeau. Boys sends in Barkov. His shot deflecting off Josi. Goes off the end board. Cullen deflects it ahead. And they're going to call an icing as Kampfer got back ahead of time.
Gerard Gallant was named the 13th head coach in franchise history after a long, extensive search for a new bench boss by GM Dale Talon, June 2014. Coach Laviolette, Preds' second head coach. He's got 12 seasons of experience. He's 12-5-1 against the Eastern Conference. And Coach Laviolette takes the Carolina Hurricanes to the Stanley Cup, just his second season.
2 block shots here by the Predators and 1 save. Campbell took that shot, and Gabriel Bourque is having a little trouble making his way to the Nashville bench. It is 0-0 in South Florida.
Great block by Gabby Bourque as we go to break. Tracking with the defender. That's Campbell. He's down in front of him. We'll show you a tighter look on that. It's a stinger for Gabby Bourque. Stop it right there, guys. Catches it right off that right foot on the outside. We showed you as we went to break Gabby Bourque going down the tunnel for medical attention, but there he sits on the Preds bench. He is available for active duty.
As Eric Nystrom flips it in. Kampfer on the end board. Collision there with Nystrom. Leaving it back. And now Hayes. Petrovic puts it on the board and got it back to center ice. As we have a whistle. As that puck will come back into the Florida end is the indication from the linesman. They want to meet now. Linesman Matt McPherson with the remainder of the crew. Shandor Alfonso, the other linesman, and the referees, veterans Dave Jackson and Greg Kimmerly.
You beat me to it. Boy, did I want to say Shandor Alfonso tonight.
Well, you just did.
Oh, you're right. I just did, for heaven's sake. You drew me into that.
That was the idea. Yeah. On the face-off, away from Forsberg, Fleischmann pouncing upon it for Florida. Flips it in. Peary, who's been on a hot streak. Weber softly off the right board and flipped out of there by Smith, but stopped by Kulikov. Dumped back in by Bolden. On the wall, Ribeiro for Smith. Predators have gone over 12 minutes without a shot on net here in the first period. It's a 0-0 game. Perhaps that should change here. Forsberg, the shot stopped, overskated his rebound, and then the puck is put in. No, by Craig Smith skating by. They got blocked in front of the open goal. Luongo dropped his stick in that process. Now Fleischmann coming on, and that is sticked away by Hutton. McKenzie to the blue line, and Campbell. That deflected, I believe, off the back of the skate of Fleischmann. Campbell swats it down for McKenzie. Neal onto the board around Olli Jokinen, back to the Florida zone for Ekblad. Aaron Ekblad celebrating his 19th birthday yesterday. Campbell skating in, back to Ekblad. That shot blocked. Fisher goes out after the loose puck, followed by Neal. Fisher versus Campbell. Fisher taken down ever so subtly by Campbell as the puck comes back to the Nashville zone. 2:34 remaining in the first. Coming out. Electing not to, then back to the left side. Cullen trying to get a piece of it. They say yes, he did. Thus no icing danger there. Jarnkrok went down to the corner. Puck deflected then high off Barkov, it appeared. Victor Barkley. And that one will go in and stop by Luongo. Kampfer. And that crawling over the glass out of play. 2:02 to go in the first.
Best chance of the game for the Preds so far. Philip Forsberg, the author, he gets all kinds of space on the outside. It's a 2-on-1. Pass is taken away. First attempt. Luongo stops it. See there, Brandon Peary collapses down low. I suspect that puck may have hit Peary.
Yeah.
Kind of in the midsection. We'll give you a look at the overhead. Scramble in front. Good opportunity for Philip Forsberg. Seen him bury plenty from that spot so far this year.
And a follow-up chance. Good one for Smith as well. Smith comes up the wall. In the trapezoid, Ribeiro, and now Forsberg. Forsberg leaving for Josi. Josi's play anticipated there. And stopped by Petrovic. Predators collide. And that was Josi with Forsberg. Sent in off the stick of Forsberg. We have under 90 seconds to play in the first. 0-0. Yossi carries down the left wing side. He gives to Nystrom. Nystrom collides Goodbranson. Picked up, and that shot taken coming in off the left side by Taylor Beck and stopped by Roberto Luongo.
Gostad line has turned in some solid minutes here tonight. In the early going, they have done well to create pace. Nystrom tracking, bumps it back to Beck, puts Beck in a good spot. He on his off wing. Bad angle. Luongo able to close it off and makes the save without any difficulty, but a nice play at the Florida net in any event for Nashville.
Right side of Luongo. Pulled back away from Fisher by the Florida Panthers, Dave Bolland. And this will be an icing on the Panthers. Coming up in our first intermission for you here this afternoon, we'll have a Mercedes-Benz of Nashville intermission interview. A segment of On Thin Ice with Jay and Dan from Fox Sports Live, and we'll have highlights and stats as well. Off the face-off, a shot taken by Neal. How many of those did he get from face-off wins by Mike Fisher? In particular, in Tuesday night's game against Toronto.
Set play for these two. This will often go off well. A chance for Nashville if Fisher's able to win that back. Keep your eyes on this man right here. Draw one back. Neal, there you go.
There's another, only this one blocked out of play.
Second opportunity. These two are awfully dangerous. Let's get a chance to show you it again. The prior opportunity. There you go, right off the draw. See there, Neal is loaded up on Fisher's backhand.
Scramble for it this time. Goodbranson shovels up for Bolland. Fleischmann comes across the line, gives the puck to McKenzie, but he lost it at the blue line. Fisher comes on. He gets a shot. Blockered away Luongo. Fed out toward the point. Fisher puts it down low. Goodbranson hit by Neal. Bolland comes over. The puck is left to Kulikov with some room. Chipped by Fleischmann. Knocked down at center. Kulikov came in offside. Panthers tag up. Now it's up to the Predators to make the exit. Seth Jones down the right side and came across and ends up on the stick of Nystrom. 14 seconds remaining. Beck behind the net. Flipped it out in front. And Nystrom had a shot at it. So too did Gostad.
How did that stay out? Terrific play from down low. Nystrom, quick little one-time chance. Luongo has been sharp here in the later stages of this first period. Some high-grade opportunity for Nashville.
Now let's take a look at that last chance again.
Play cycles down low. Nystrom chips to Beck. Beck spins off his check. There you see it. Little backhand pass into the interior spots. Nystrom with the quick bid. Nothing doing, says Luongo.
So the shots got closer to even up at 11-10 Florida. It's 0-0 at the end of one period in Sunrise, Florida.
This Nashville Predators broadcast is brought to you by Bridgestone. Your journey, our passion. By Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt. And by your Middle Tennessee Toyota dealers.
0-0. They're about to drop the puck here. The shots on goal in that first period, favoring Florida 11-10. A late surge in that department by the Predators. Scoring chances 5 and 4, favoring Florida. And the Panthers winning in the faceoff dot and in hits.
Among the things that jump up at me off of the stat sheet coming out of the first period, Seth Jones, 10 minutes, 26 seconds of ice, leads all skaters in that department and by a pretty hefty margin. Shea Weber, 8 minutes, 5 seconds, so 2+ spread. Seth Jones showed you earlier the distinction between his first 31 games and his last 21 games. He's becoming an impact player as this season wears on.
Deflected out of play from right at the blue line by Olli Jokinen. And I feel like that's Metallica music, Ed.
Well, get to it. It's time for Hot Ticket Time, presented by Hunt Brothers Pizza. Right now, buy a ticket for the game on Thursday, February 12th against Winnipeg, and get a second ticket of equal value for free. To order, call 615-770-7800 or visit NashvillePredators.com/Hot Ticket Time. Offer good through the end of tonight's game. Order now. You were denied your
my music.
Your instrumental.
Yeah. Puck comes up toward the blue line.
Perhaps somebody's trying to tell you something.
It might be.
My partner.
Might very well be. Peary sends it back to Kulikov. He breaks out with Goodbranson, who's looking up front. And that will result in an icing call here.
Second full season, Matthias Ekholm really has been a top 4 defenseman. A nice surprise for these Nashville Predators right out of the gate. You could tell. First game, training camp, the exhibition season, Matthias Ekholm had come back lighter, stronger, more confident, and added a half stride to his game some way, somehow. He's been exceptional.
Standing on the pass there was Brandon Peary. They sent it in deep now for Bolden. Carter Hutton. A little sleight of hand there, wasn't it?
Really did. Shows behind the net, and then goes into the deep corner on the near side. Smart play.
Forsberg some room coming on. That shot blocked up into the netting by Roberto Luongo.
We got a pair of rookies on the ice here tonight for the Nashville Predators. Philip Forsberg, first full season for him. Aaron Ekblad, we told you earlier, first pick overall for the Florida Panthers, and there's how the two compare. Ekblad in a top pairing role for these Florida Panthers, playing big minutes.
We'll drop the puck again here.
Yesterday, birthday 19 for Aaron Ekblad.
Hard to believe you can play this level of this sport at that age.
At that position. That's a difficult position to learn. It's not a transition a lot of players are capable of making. Says a lot about Aaron Ekblad.
We first saw him, of course, in the Prospects Tournament, Fordyce Center. As the pass deflecting to the side of Carter Hutton, will very quickly cover up. We saw 3 players in that tournament. The Bruins were involved as well, and the Tampa Bay Lightning. But the Pasternak kid for the Boston Bruins, who now has been elevated to the big league club from Providence and is showing well.
Yeah. Interesting to see these guys as they transition. Yes, you know, you like the way they rank against the players their age, their experience level, but then to graduate up and carry that game forward, playing with the big fellas, the NHLers, pretty remarkable. Forsberg has been a standout from rookie camp on forward. He has just continued to be an impact player at every stage of the season.
From the point, that shot just a little bit wide of the net by Petrovic and picked up in the glove of Carter Hutton.
Yes, an entry in the Save of the Year contest. Crazy bounce off of Daniel Winnick of the Toronto Maple Leafs the other night, and what a spectacular save by Carter Hutton to preserve a 4-3 win for his Nashville Predators. It was a good outing for Carter. And a great stretch of hockey for Carter. 4-2-2 the team goes in Pekka Rinne's absence, largely due to the performance of the relief netminder.
Stick lost on the side wall by Kampfer. And the defenseman Petrovic comes up to get to Bjugstad. Kampfer. Jokinen couldn't quite get to it. I'm speaking of UC Jokinen, the Panthers Jokinen. And curling back inside the Florida line. And dropping it back for Kampfer. Picked his way around Cullen and dumps it in. Panthers go for a change. Just about 2 minutes gone here in the second period. A 0-0 game. And right up to Kulikov. To Branson. To the left side. And tapping it toward the net there. Barkov, and covered up.
Put a little historical perspective on that man's season so far. Fastest to 30 wins. There's the other people that have done it faster than Pekka Rinne. Chris Osgood in 38 games, 95-96. I played with Chris that year. Eddie Johnson, 70-71. I did not play with Eddie Johnson that year.
No. Nor in any other.
I just missed Eddie Johnson.
Eddie used to combine with Jerry Cheevers, tending the goal for the Boston Bruins.
One of the great goaltender masks of all time. Every square inch of that mask had a stitch, a series of stitches in it. It was pretty cool. I grew up a big Bruins fan. I thought that was the greatest thing.
All from the original Frosty Forrestal, the trainer for the Bruins then, the equipment man. Here's Huberdeau. Twisting in that corner is Boys. Forced back to the outside. And now Aaron Ekblad will simply put it down behind the Nashville goal. Jabbed at and finally poked out there by Gabriel Bourque. Trying to find that puck there was Campbell. He couldn't, and that resulted in a scoring chance, a backhanded drive and a wicked one by Matt Cullen. From outside, the shot missed the net by Barkov. Barkov now met up by Volchenkov. Tapped away.
Good pursuit by Craig Smith. Turns the puck over. Nashville then out of trouble.
Just squirted away from Hutton and back up the left board, Philip Forsberg. Forsberg turns around, uses that goal to get away from Kopecky. Flips it onto the board, picks up himself, and his shot deflects wide. Goodbranson feeds out on the left wing. Scotty Upshall deflects to the end board. Kopecky to the point. Kulikov of the Goodbranson, and now back McKenzie's shot blocked to the corner. McKenzie to Kulikov. Goodbranson toward the net, and that broke the stick of Anton Volchenkov. Upshall could not get a hold of it, could not settle it down. Otherwise, he has a pretty good scoring chance. Broken stick at both ends of the ice. Goodbranson sending in Fleischmann. Perry fanned on the shot. He hasn't been doing that much of late. Weber now for Neal. Weber stops it with the skate to Neal. Bouncing puck. That deflects off Fisher. A follow-up shot spinning by Weber. Goes off the glass. Campbell onto the board for Perry. Fisher reverses left side. Olli Jokinen in the lineup today. Filling in for Colin Wilson. Stepping around now. That shot by Josi goes wide to the corner, and the rebound into the Nashville zone.
Good chance for Roman Josi. Terrific feed out to him as he's backpedaling around the top of the Florida defensive zone. Misses just wide, going back against the grain on Luongo.
Panthers pass picked off Bourque. Bourque coming down that left side. Shot rebounds off goaltender Luongo. Jarnkrok for Bourque. To the blue line, Seth Jones. Victor Bartley with the try, with Cullen standing in front. That deflected away. Coming back with it now to Bourque, and his shot gloved down by Luongo. Little theatrical save there with 5:38 gone in the second period. Still a 0-0 game, and the shots now even up 13 aside.
Gabby Bourque collects it on the far wall, keeps it in. Look at the turnover by Jarnkrok. Great job, great pursuit. Sets up that chance for Gabby Bourque. Shot from well out, but through traffic. And here's Josi. Remember, I described for you kind of backpedaling through the Florida zone. Snaps it at the net, but it goes out the wide side. Preds gathering a little pace, a little momentum here as we approach the middle stages of the second.
Quick shot, deflected. Going after that rebound, Olli Jokinen. Branson got a piece of it. Now Jokinen toward the net with Fisher providing traffic in front. Barkov muscled down low, but outletted onto the left wing side where Huberdeau drives it in left side to right. Came off the board, bounced away from Huberdeau. Barkov follows up. Huberdeau backhands it. Boys spinning to Kulikov. That shot stopped, and Huberdeau could not get to the rebound that was given up by Carter Hutton.
Terrific defensive play by James Neal. He saves what was a sure goal. Puck kicks off of Carter Hutton out the other side. Neal comes down hard with the stick to prevent the sure thing.
Huberdeau is just waiting for that. Strange bounce off the glass, topped up off the glass again. That was Barkov and Nystrom. Eric Nystrom goes to the corner after it. Oh, did Goodbranson hammer him to the wall? Huberdeau clears the puck out.
Rough ride and from behind. Surprised that didn't draw a minor.
Down to the corner. Kulikov. Goodbranson. The quick out. Huberdeau waiting on that left wing. Upshaw looking for some help on the line change as it is thrown to the front of the net by Alex Petrovic and covered up. So Eric Nystrom took a pretty good hit by Goodbranson against the inboard. It's still 0-0 in South Florida.
Want to show you that terrific play, defensive play by James Neal, that man right there, and he's going to kind of take this path right here, collapse down low as he sees this play, the chance for Huberdeau develop. Watch, he's going to come back into your screen, reads it, sees Huberdeau. Ow, terrific defensive play. Comes down hard on the stick of Huberdeau, but you can appreciate on that look, that one's in behind Carter Hutton, if not for James Neal.
Derek McKenzie lost the draw to Gaustad. Taken down ice, and Weber's shot was deflected by Kopecky out of play. So Gaustad took that draw away from McKenzie, and down ice went the Predators.
Yeah, on the move and in a big way. Watch this little spin around. He's going to back in at the blue line to protect the puck. He's onside because he's got control of the puck, lays it back to Weber, and then Nystrom providing the traffic in front. Smart little play by the Gaustad line. Like the minutes these guys are turning in here tonight.
Jab here, just poked away the last instant from Forsberg. Weber had to use his skate to kick that pass. But then have some oomph on it or what?
Just can't get over how resourceful these guys are.
Oh, you would have stopped that.
No, I wouldn't have even thought to stop that way. Kicks his foot out, keeps it in. Terrific play.
Out of the corner, up toward Craig Smith, but Ekblad poked it down the wall. Now Ekblad with a shot, blocked off Yossi. Kopecky, and then that was McKenzie with the shot, the rebound of which fluttered up in the air. Upshaw.
And fortunately knocked out of the air by a Predator.
Yes.
As it's looping towards the net. You can tell by Carter Hutton's body language, body position, he doesn't see that.
Yossi across the line. From left side to right. Ribeiro tips it. It came right across in front off the stick of Ekblad. At center ice, Victor Bartley fading inside the Nashville line. Matt Cullen tied up there by Fleischmann. Here's Boland. He sort of lobbed it toward the net. I think he was hoping for a redirection there. Gamble's try goes off Bourque. And Cullen comes back to get the puck, but Fleischmann steals it away. His shot is more. Predators turn it over. Thomas Fleischmann gets the Panthers on the board at 8:37 of the second period. Fleischmann with his 6th of the year.
Play back to Gabby Bourque. Then Matt Cullen's going to collapse in right here and pick up this puck. Keep an eye on this. Stop it there, guys. Right there. Matt Cullen's going to lay it into this area right here. That's a blind backhand pass. Turns over. Florida collects it. And then bang. Up over the shoulder. Carter Hutton far side. Fleischmann buries it. His 6th goal this season. Coach Laviolette talked about that very thing. Stay out of the middle unless you're 100% sure. That was the message in the room to the guys today playing on the back end of a back-to-back. Cullen thought he had a direct pass. Underestimated where Fleischmann is in time and space.
Here's Cullen now trying to set it for Bourque, and Bourque got a shot that Luongo smothered. So back to the score.
Yeah, here's Fleischmann on the finish. Terrific shot. You can see there in stride. He collects it, settles it, snaps it, and just blows it by Carter Hutton over the shoulder.
Well, I remember a few years ago with Thomas Fleischmann, his season was stopped by blood clots in his lungs.
Yeah, that's a tough deal. Appreciate the perseverance of a guy, the character of a guy to be able to come back from that. And we may be witnessing an ex-Predator, Kimmo Timonen, do that very thing.
Yeah.
As he's getting positive news about his blood clot condition as well.
He was okay to skate on Tuesday, and he said, boy, this is hard. Quick shot by Kulikov, blockered away. As Boyes tries to steal up, Boland will get an assist on that goal by Fleischmann. And it came at 8:37. Neal dumps the puck behind the Panther net. For Fisher. Fisher and Neal exchange. Stop low. Now Volchenkov right on top of him, and the shot from the point, and that's smacked away. It was Fisher out there. Volchenkov with the try, rebound, steered just around the stick of Fisher, and now Brad Boyes at center ice flips it into the Nashville end. Mattias Ekholm skates up after that little pass around Gaustad. Swept to the line, not out. Nystrom seeing that, goes in to put the pressure as Campbell cleared it off the body of Nystrom. Up ice, Jimmy Hayes sweeps it in. Gaustad. And Ekholm pursued by Jussi Jokinen. He leaves it for Hayes, and now Bjugstad coming out was spun around now to his forehand. Feeds back to the point. Campbell surveys. Back low with it to Jussi Jokinen. Ekblad with the shot. Blocked right back at him. Dropped his stick. Puck Predators failed to clear. Now go off the board diagonally. And Nystrom got it inside the Panther end. 1-0 Florida. Jokinen gives it back. McKenzie shot blocked. Jokinen tried to finesse a pass to McKenzie. Predators take advantage. Ekholm comes out with the puck. Ekblad tried to stop him at the line. A bouncing puck there. Järnkrok goes after it, and it's jabbed out. Here comes Scotty Upshall. Upshall with some speed. His shot, though, deflected by Roman Josi. Josi gets the puck onto the right board. Panthers stop it. Josi around Kopecky and back to the Panther zone.
Upshall on the attack. Roman Josi plays it well, recognizes Upshall has no good option, just takes away the middle, steers him to the corner to turn the puck over.
Turned over at center. Again, Kopecky off his skate to the corner. Upshall, the stick drop there causing some problems for all concerned. It's Shea Weber coming up ice with the puck to the left wing for Cullen, who got tied up there with Petrovic. Back of the Florida net. Spun by Fleischmann, came out in front. Petrovic. His pass to Bolden. Inside the Nashville line. Spinning away is Seth Jones for Bartley, who didn't really see that pass coming.
No, kind of thrown behind Bartley and off the wall. Bartley can't control it.
Here's Forsberg, a backhander. That one goes just wide of Luongo. Behind the net, Ribeiro goes to the corner. Mike Ribeiro and Petrovic, and out to center ice. Seth Jones finds it, with Peary bearing down on him. Jones pushes it away. Fleischmann picks it up. And offside Florida with 12:48 gone in the second. Panthers up 1-0 as Thomas Fleischmann converted the turnover at 8:37 of the second period. Panthers up 1-0, 7:12 to go in the second. Joined live from the bench by assistant coach Kevin McCarthy. Kevin, I know you don't particularly like the score right now, but do you like the pace the team is playing in it the second day of back-to-backs?
Yeah, I thought that, especially in the first period, I mean, it was really back and forth, and not a lot of room out there like we talked about. And I think the biggest thing right now is we just got to make sure we manage pucks well and get shots on goal whenever it's possible.
Coach, I talked with Coach Laviolette earlier today. He talked about more of a 1-2-2 approach tonight. Are you comfortable with the opportunity you guys are generating in spite of you're playing a little bit more conservative in the offensive zone?
You know what? It really hasn't changed much. I mean, the only time that really happens is on a bad dump or a goalie handle or a situation where you change a line. For the most part, everything else has stayed the same. And I think we've done a good job of reading when to do it and when not to.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
Kevin McCarthy live from the Predators bench here in the second period. There was a long stretch there where the Predators in the first period were not getting their shots. And that improved, say, like the last 8-9 minutes or so. Olli Jokinen. And Josi with the shot. Stopped, and he fires one from below the end line in the corner. And it's spun around by Bjugstad, and they get it out behind Roman Josi.
Smart play by Roman Josi. It's a bad angle chance, and he intentionally goes off the outside of the net, knowing he'll get a ricochet to the front with Preds in front.
Craig Smith stick handling that shot. Rebound left in front. Swept aside there by Jimmy Hayes. Here's Bjugstad. Open ice now for Jokinen, and he doesn't put it on goal.
Short side, may have missed high. Terrific lane opens up for Jussi Jokinen of the Florida Panthers.
Jokinen clears it. Now down the right side, it's Aaron Ekblad. Ekblad got the man down. Going to be a penalty call coming up here. And on the delayed penalty, the Panthers score to make it 2-0 at 14:27.
Turnover inside the defensive zone and then back on the transition. Right here, freeze it there, guys. This is the battle right here. Bartley gambles, loses, and this creates the opening, gets the Preds scrambling. Out the backside. Chance for Hayes initially. It appears to me Ekblad is able to put that up and over Carter Hutton for his 8th of the year. Leads all rookie defensemen in points, and adding to that total here tonight, Aaron Ekblad. First pick overall, 2014, the Florida Panthers.
8th goal, 30th point. And it comes at 14:27 in a delayed penalty situation. Kopecky. And now Järnkrok tapped it away, taken back outside by McKenzie. McKenzie's try, sticked aside by Hutton. Onto the right board. Held in by McKenzie. His shot deflects to the left side of Hutton. From the point. Upshaw flips it high. From the board. Came right onto the stick of Calle Järnkrok. So Ekblad from Hayes and Jokinen. That'd be Jussi Jokinen in this case. Volchenkov kept it in at the point. 4:27 remains in the second period. Predators down 2. Well, they led Florida 2-0 in their other meeting in Nashville back on November 22nd. That game ended up getting tied by the Panthers and going to a shootout. Fleischmann, little stick battle there. Turning as Gaustad on a floating puck was just swatted away from in front. Bolin directs it in. And Carter Hutton will cover up with 16 minutes off the clock in the second. Florida Panthers with goals from Fleischmann and the latter from Aaron Ekblad. On a delayed penalty call, they lead the Predators 2-0.
I want to show you another look at the Panthers' second goal. Just a momentary hesitation from Victor Bartley. Look at Jokinen loses it. Stop it there, guys. Again, that's Bartley. He hesitates for just a second, and that costs him. He's able to collect it out the far side. Jones actually recovers, but it leaks over to Hayes. Hayes then to Ekblad. Ekblad with a solid shot. Able to get it past Hutton to push this lead to 2 for Florida.
Gamble from the outside. Upshaw stops it with the skate, but only momentarily so. Taylor Beck tried to flip it out. Falls down on it. Comes off his skate to Paul Gaustad. On the left board, Nystrom. Tied up Kopecky. Out of that corner came Upshaw. Kopecky. And right there with him, Gaustad. Then Shea Weber. Pulled away by McKenzie. And we're going to have a whistle here for holding at 16:38. So power play coming up for the Florida Panthers.
Well, and that's the upside if you're Florida.
Number 28, 2 minutes holding.
You spend enough time cycling in the opposition zone, wearing down your opponent, you'll draw a minor penalty. Kopecky on Gaustad down low. Kopecky's trying to muscle his way through there. Gaustad leaning on him pretty heavy with the inside leg, and then ultimately with the left arm draws the holding minor. And you hate that the Preds are on the kill. You hate that the Preds are missing one of their most effective killers.
Exactly. When Gaustad is penalized, that throws things down the line. So you start out with Fischer and Jokinen. And we'll see if Nystrom comes out, say, with Cullen or maybe Bork. Down the boards into the corner. Oh, and a hard ride there for Ekholm, ridden in by Barkov. And Ekholm obviously shaken up.
Yeah, Ekholm kind of gets bowled over as these two, Barkov and Ekholm, are going back for the puck, and then Barkov really appears to land on Ekholm. He's not able to brace himself and goes into that corner end wall in a pretty stiff way.
Let's take a look at that again.
Yeah, back for a loose puck in the deep corner to Carter Hutton's left. Andy Hostler.
12, 2 minutes interference.
Well, interference is being called here on the Panthers. Jimmy Hayes.
There's actually two Panthers involved here. Watch Hayes on the outside. He'll upend Ekholm. And then Ekholm is vulnerable and he's off balance. Boy, he goes in a really awkward way, unable to brace himself as he goes. But he'll come off under his own steam. Argue the case a little further in the process. He's going to go down the tunnel for medical attention. Andy Hostler in close pursuit.
So no shots on goal on what turned out to be a very brief power play. 26 seconds. 4-on-4 here. Kulikov coming up ice with it. Hounded there by Neal. You'll see for Weber. Earlier in the game, a block shot. Had Gabriel Bork going down the tunnel for a bit, but he quickly returned. Here's Josi. At the line, staying on side. Fischer came out from in front of the net to accept a pass. Kulikov. And just wide of Boland as this 4-on-4 persists for another 50 seconds.
Smart attempt by Josi. Went in the offensive zone. He tried that little area pass to Fischer, hoping to get it back. He looked like he was ready to activate and jump towards the net, but Fischer couldn't control it. It bounced away off his stick.
Coming out with the puck and in across the line, Barkov. Jabbed away from him. Gotten by Huberdeau. They return to Huberdeau. But the puck comes up now, and the Predators have a 2-on-1. If they work quickly, Forsberg tried to flip a shot on, missed the net. He gets the rebound, comes out, and flips one that is gloved down by Luongo with 14 seconds remaining in the 4-on-4.
Forsberg is on the attack. Ekblad has got him on the outside. Smartly played by Ekblad. Puts himself in a pretty vulnerable spot. But he gets the left leg out. Blocks it with the skate. And then it kind of drizzles deep in behind the Florida goal line.
Face off on the 4-on-4. Ekblad left it. Stolen Forsberg. Forsberg a shot. Just goes wide to the glove side of Luongo. Another 5 seconds of the 4-on-4. Then the Predators will have a 26-second man advantage. There's a try by Forsberg, blocked. Out of the box now comes Paul Gaustad.
Block again by Ekblad in front of the Florida net. Smartly played. Forsberg threatening once again that little off his natural foot shot.
And offside as Ribeiro tried to set up Neal, breaking down the middle.
This Tuesday, it's a battle between two of the top teams in the NHL as your Nashville Predators face off against Steven Stamkos and the Tampa Bay Lightning right here, Smashville. It's a Nissan 2 for Tuesday. Receive 2 lower-level tickets, 2 hot dogs, 2 sodas, and a Nashville Predators car flag. The puck drops at 7 p.m. at Bridgestone Arena. For tickets, visit NashvillePredators.com or call 615-770-7800.
Face off, and offside is called as Smith tries to burst in. Just 1 second remaining on this power play. In our second intermission for you, highlights from the Chicago-St. Louis game earlier today. Highlights and stats, plus an interview with Predators assistant coach Phil Housley. All that coming up in our second intermission for you. Under 54 seconds to play as the puck is dumped into the Florida zone. With Branson and Beck there. But Branson was able to muscle it away, then popped up away from Hayes. Hayes gets it back and throws it wide through center. Kopetsky puts it behind the Nashville goal. Roman Josi starts it up for Taylor Beck. Beck hounded there by Upshaw. Just back down by Shea Weber. Scoop for Craig Smith. Mike Fisher returns to Weber.
Smart pass, little underneath play to Weber. Preds are out of trouble. Fisher to Weber.
And icing here against Nashville with 6.7 to go in the second period. Panthers up 2-0. Both goals here in the second period. Fleischmann off a Nashville turnover and Ekblad on a delayed penalty.
Olli Jokinen returns to Southern Florida. 567 games a Florida Panther, 419 points in that time, and 4 seasons he was captain of these Florida Panthers. So a warm embrace as the big Finnish forward returns home to Florida.
Beck picks up the pass, but time runs out as he was lining up a shot. So at the end of 2 periods here in South Florida, Predators are trailing the Florida Panthers 2-0 and still waiting for an update on the situation with Mattias Ekholm. Stay tuned. Our second intermission coming right up. Just about ready to start the third period here. The Predators down 2-0. So yesterday, the Predators hit with the injury bug. As we see the hit on Colin Wilson by Dan Girardi.
Game action, New York versus Nashville, and Girardi gets a good piece of Wilson on the attack. He played a couple of shifts after that, but ultimately left that one. The New York Rangers game midway today, we showed you a couple of different looks. Hayes, the interference on Ekholm. Barkov lands on Ekholm, unable to brace himself as he goes in. So he's out the rest of this one with an upper body injury. Those are big minutes. He's approaching 19 minutes time on ice over the course of this year. And don't forget, Pete, defense partner Ryan Ellis.
Yes.
Missing now, going on, 3 weeks, I believe, perhaps more.
I think 4.
That's effectively your second pairing for Nashville out of the mix. Let's just hope that the injury to Ekholm doesn't become longer term.
Buck rolling in on edge, going after it. There was Fisher. Peary spun with the puck. Fisher comes up the board. Low now for Olli Jokinen. Olli Jokinen in there this afternoon for Colin Wilson. Fisher almost ran into Jokinen there. Indeed he did, and the puck came off the boards to Fleischmann.
He's trying a little toe drag through Olli Jokinen's skates. Couldn't get it through. It turned over down in the Florida zone.
So people always say, hey, you played with 5 defensemen before. Now you're forced into that situation. Preds fans, get closer to the action with Predators Live, presented by Nissan. Tune in for all the pregame excitement and postgame analysis with Nashville's finest. Don't miss Predators Live before and after the games on Fox Sports Tennessee. Face off to the left of Carter Hutton. Ekblad put it down the wall very patiently. Bjugstad has shot. But Carter Hutton wasn't sure where that rebound had gone.
No, he fought off the first shot, lost sight of it, and that puck is kind of looping in front of him. Unfortunately, falls out of harm's way. No follow-up chance for Florida.
Jimmy Hayes puts it in, keeping away from Bjugstad. Jokinen taken away from him by Forsberg, and then knocked down by Bjugstad with a high stick. So in third periods this year, the Predators have scored 61 times in their previous 52 games. That is 4th in the NHL behind Calgary, Tampa Bay, and Montreal. Calgary topping that with 66 third-period goals.
Puck played with a high stick, face-off outside Preds zone at the Preds blue line.
Ekblad. And I thought that actually was tipped in by Boys, but not in the view of the striped shirt, so that will go as an icing against the Panthers.
Roman Josi versus New York just a couple of nights, or actually just last night. A goal and assist. He's +1 on the night. 25 minutes, 18 seconds played, and he and Shea have toggled back and forth between 4th and 5th in the NHL time on ice. These guys log big minutes.
Up the boards on the Predators' left wing and sent out of there by Huberdeau. Barkov moves in against Shea Weber. Barkov, a top draft choice a year ago, when many people thought at that time the draft was going to go that Barkov would end up in Nashville. Huberdeau lost it in his skates. Ribeiro flips it in. Craig Smith goes after it in the corner with Campbell. Campbell swept it up the boards for Huberdeau. Blocked back by Shea Weber. Barkov took a swing at it. No. Craig Smith with a shot. Blockered away by Luongo. Again, as you heard the conversation with assistant coach Phil Housley, just get a goal here. Get the first one in the period and change the complexion of this.
Well, Luongo's looked sharp. The Panthers have defended well. Preds have had a handful of high-grade chances. A pretty strong defensive effort from the host Panthers.
Bork's pass. Cullen was able to tip it into the zone. He goes in against Kampfer, but it's taken by Kopecky. Kopecky with Upshaw. And here we'll take it back. So the battle of rookies here this afternoon.
We highlighted how they compare statistically. Here's what the in-game action looks like. Toe pick, Ekblad, Forsberg. Ekblad at his mercy. Well, maybe just a little cuff in the air. Message sending, perhaps. Good, healthy, spirited competition between athletes.
Seth Jones walking the line. His shot was blocked by Kopecky. Turning there, Cullen off the rebound, and that one chopped at by Volchenkov.
It's a strange bounce in front, right in Yardcroke's feet. He can't locate it. Otherwise, he's in a good spot.
Petrovic could not play it cleanly. Now trying to get out from behind the net. Cullen, delayed penalty call coming up. Cullen shovels it across in front. Looked like a stick came up in the face of Volchenkov, and that puck bounced off the referee to the side of the net. Talk about pinball action.
Cullen does a great job down low. He's got his feet moving. McKenzie leaning on him from the inside. Watch, Cullen will spin back here. Yeah, McKenzie with the high stick or the hold inside. Cullen does well to keep his feet moving. Draw the minor. Nashville with the man advantage here. An opportunity to climb back into this one.
Predators, their third power play. They had one of just 26 seconds, however. Forsberg to the side of the net. Neal with a shot. The rebound came right back at him off Luongo.
Smart play, strong chance, and then quick retrieval by Neal. Able to keep Nashville alive, at least momentarily. Puck cleared by Florida.
So Boland able to clear. And the killing forwards now, Upshaw and Fleischmann. It is Fleischmann pressuring Josi, who breaks up. A pass tipped away from Neal and cleared off the boards into the Nashville zone.
It's been the bane of the power play. Preds power play here tonight. Difficulty on the entry, even when they gain the opposition blue. Unorganized. Florida has defended well.
Pass was wide. Campbell able to get it ahead to Boland. 56 seconds left in this Nashville advantage. Swept in by Jones. Picked up Ribeiro. Beck. And now Smith. And Jones could not keep it in the zone.
Direct pass, Smith to Jones. Jones is looking to pull towards the middle, and for that reason may have kind of pulled that puck up off edge. It leaks out off his stick and out of the zone.
Beck and Kulikov. Kulikov rolls it around. Ribeiro stops now for Jones. Firing away, scores! Seth Jones with a low bullet shot from straight away. The Predators are on the board at 4:44 the third.
Terrific play by the big defender. Pretty simple play. Area pass, airlifted to Jones from Ribeiro. He just pulls the middle, finds the center lane. There you see Taylor Beck. Great traffic in front. No reaction from Luongo until after it's past him. Terrific play by Seth Jones. Points now in 4 straight games, and that's his 5th goal of the season for the young Preds blue liner.
1 shot or 2 shots on net. It goes down now on that power play for Nashville. Seth Jones pulling the Preds within 1.
See, Pete, I told you the power play was looking good.
Yes, you did tell me that. As that puck is deflected out of play.
Another look at that goal. Good job by Taylor Beck. He's pressing down hard. Little support from Smith. Then it cycles out the other side. Again, saucer pass. Ribeiro to Jones. Traffic on both sides in front. The unsung job. The obscure work done by Taylor Beck, pushing that down low, and it turns over.
Puck came right in front and is scooped up in the glove of Carter Hutton.
Huberdeau with a quick little surprise wraparound. Hutton is there on the short side to seal it off, but it jumps up off his pad, and he's forced to swallow it up glove hand to settle things down and force this face-off.
Yossi comes up the left side with the puck. Shea Weber. Down the right side, here comes Taylor Beck again. Lost a tire there, and coming back up ice is Kampfer. Petrovic rolls it around, right side to left. Weber stops it in the Predators' right corner. Jokinen comes on. Yossi for Beck. Beck trying to lay it back for Yossi. And the puck is picked up by Jimmy Hayes and started back. Jussi Jokinen just off to the left of Carter Hutton. He will hold it in the glove and hold on. 5:47 gone in the third. A 1-goal game all of a sudden. Predators counting on the power play.
Here's the Ribeiro. Little saucer pass back to Jones, and there you get a good angle. You get to see Seth Jones backpedaling, pulling it across. And the work Taylor Beck is doing in front of Roberto Luongo cut the Florida lead in half. 2-1 Preds trail. Lots of time to tie this up.
Kulikov shot deflected. Jokinen now for Jimmy Hayes. Bjugstad couldn't get free in a trapezoid. Now he bounces shoulder to shoulder with Jones. Centers it. Came out front. Volchenkov, and now it comes over left wing side for Olli Jokinen.
Weak centering play from Bjugstad. Fisher can't control it, and it ultimately bounces off Fisher's skate closer to the Nashville goal line. Hutton had to be sharp.
Olli Jokinen tried to get out of the corner. Jussi Jokinen instead gave it up, and now Bjugstad throws in for Jimmy Hayes. Volchenkov taking the pass from goaltender Carter Hutton. He then tried to get Neal in stride. Turned over at center. Hayes and Perry. Perry a shot, and not seeing the rebound was Carter Hutton. It was to his short side, not the other. Now Campbell comes down the side. Perry another shot. That will be covered up by Carter Hutton off the pads. 6:48 gone in the third period. Florida Panthers in front here. 2-1 with 13:12 to go in regulation.
Continuing on that theme of bad decision-making, Volchenkov is actually going to try to chip this puck out of the Nashville zone. Boland's going to turn it over. It's going to get Brandon Peary ultimately back on the attack. Here's a chance from the outside. Half slapper. Carter Hutton fields it with the left pad, but it ricochets out the opposite side. He kind of loses sight for it, at least momentarily.
Matt Cullen on the attack, down the right wing side. Coming back late was Boland. Here's Cullen with the shot. There was traffic provided in front by Bourque, and it's Peary who comes back out with it for Florida. Peary Taking no prisoners on that rush into the Nashville zone.
Made contact with Carter Hutton behind the Preds net as well.
And he made contact with Garncroak exiting his zone, and Shea Weber coming into the Nashville zone. Weber gave Peary a little, hey.
There's an answer for all that. You like the Preds captain delivering the message.
Josi fanned on it, Kopecky, but Ribeiro, and now Upshaw steals it away, and in front, McKenzie misfires. Derek McKenzie had a great chance. Brian Campbell down the left wing side. Thomas Kopecky deflected to the corner. McKenzie let it go for the youngster Ekblad. Right wing side, Philip Forsberg. Kopecky ends up with it, came right in front. McKenzie, a backhander, diving across was Volchenkov. Tried to put it in front again, and it comes all the way back to the Nashville attack zone.
Florida trying desperately to get that back to the net front with Carter Hutton sprawling. Can't make it go. And ultimately, it's Florida. Sends it back into the Florida zone.
Accelerating in now, Barkov. That was deflected to the corner. Huberdeau tried to throw it across there for Boys. Goodbranson down to the corner. Goodbranson onto the wall. Bartley coming over. Barkov tried to slip it across for Huberdeau. Backhand feed. Kulikov the keep in. Huberdeau. Right side Boys shot deflects high. Off to the corner left side of Hutton. They are scrambling now, folks. Boys with a shot. Net knocked off its pegs. Normally they blow the whistle there, and here they do. Net was rocked a little bit back off its pegs.
All kinds of activity, a flurry of chances in and around Carter Hutton. Play cycles in behind the Nashville net. Kopecky throws it out front. Cheating down. There you see. Yeah, then ultimately it's Kopecky trying to throw it out front. There, Huberdeau in front. Off to Carter Hutton's left, crashing into the near side post.
Puck taken from in front of the Nashville net by Roman Josi. Jokinen took it from Taylor back. Jimmy Hayes holds up on the left board. Josi and Weber, then Hayes comes into the picture as well. Paul Gostad for Nashville. Banks a pass for Beck. Breaking on Camford. Taylor Beck. Beck goes down to that corner. Helped out by Eric Nystrom. Nystrom went down for some pressure from Bjugstad. Nystrom back up onto his skates. Pulling the puck up the board. Gostad fanned on it. Seth Jones got back to it, but now Kemper, delay penalty call coming up here on the Predators. Delay on the Predators as Hayes circles, drops it back to the fresh troops coming off the bench.
Seth Jones is trying to recover back to the blue line. May have picked up a holding minor in the process. Holding, perhaps interference.
They've scored on one delayed penalty, but this time they go offside. So the penalty will be assessed here with exactly 10 minutes off the third period clock.
Puck turns over inside the Florida zone. Jones and Hayes involved in a race for that puck. Jones gets a little piece of Hayes, trying to gain inside position. Holding is the call. Exactly half a period remaining here. And if Nashville gets its way, 8 minutes will remain after the man advantage elapses.
Panthers, nothing of their previous two with the advantage. But their second goal did come during a delayed penalty that was about to be called on the Predators. Jussi Jokinen to the right side. Peary returns it to Jokinen. Peary to the blue line. Bolland returning it to Peary. Jussi Jokinen turns, gives it outside to Campbell. Now Bolland in that left circle. Passes to the corner, went to the side of the net. Bolland looking for the play. It went beyond Jussi Jokinen. Campbell to keep in. Peary decides to shoot. Rebound left there. Oh, and Carter Hutton made a game-saving stop there on Jussi Jokinen.
Terrific save by Carter Hutton. Couple of follow-up chances for Florida. Hutton stands tall.
Stick down on the ice for Bartley. There's a shot blocked over to the Panthers' left. 46 seconds remaining in the penalty. Boys works against Fisher, and Fisher managed to clear the zone.
Oh, terrific block by Bartley after that quick little series against Carter Hutton. Bartley, no stick, big block.
Huberdeau airborne off the shelf in the corner left side of Hutton. Strange bounce as a result. Barkov puts it to Huberdeau. Return to Barkov. Jimmy Hayes now toward Barkov with Jokinen wrapped on him. Volchenkov drills it, almost decapitated several players as it comes back in on the Florida goal.
Nice little play in tandem, Volchenkov and Josi. Josi separates man and puck. Volchenkov jumps in, hammers it off the glass and out.
Predators about to get their man back out of the box. Ribeiro's pass off the board. Seth Jones chips it ahead. Taken now by Eric Nystrom. Slowed down by Huberdeau. Nystrom to that corner on the right side. Ribeiro comes down to help. Nystrom, the scramble. Ribeiro pinned as he went near the trapezoid. Trying to center it out of there. Forsberg. Well, the Panthers managing 3 shots during that power play, but still a 2-1 Florida lead rather than them extending that. Forsberg tries to turn inside, flips his shot on that deflected out of play. How in the world did he get that shot off? So the Predators had a very close call. Carter Hutton coming over to stop Jussi Jokinen, and then Brad Boyes. 2-1, the Panthers with the lead. Why is it still 2-1? How about this power play stop by Carter Hutton on Jussi Jokinen? So 2-1, and now we are joined on the bench by Predators goaltender Pekka Rinne-Pekka. Congratulations. Second fastest in NHL history in a season to 30 wins.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, remarkable achievement, Pekka. You know, you're just 2 games back now, post-knee sprain injury. Compare, if you would, the Anaheim start to New York just last night.
Felt different. I mean, obviously the first game back, it was a little bit difficult, and I felt a little rusty in the beginning of the game, but I think I settled in a little bit, even though I gave up 4 goals. But last night was a lot better, not only for myself, but the whole team. I thought that we played a solid game. It was a big win against a good team, and hopefully we can pull one out here.
Talk about your counterpart. Carter Hutton seen 27 shots tonight for Florida. He's looked pretty solid. He's had to battle.
Oh, he's playing awesome. He plays with a lot of confidence and with a lot of jump in his game, and just a lot of good saves. And hopefully boys can battle this one out for him. He's certainly done his job.
Well, Pekka, thank you so much for the visit. We do appreciate it.
Anytime. Thanks, guys.
Pekka Rinne joining us live from the Predators bench.
While Pekka visits with us, Carter fights off his 28th here tonight. Shoulder save out the right side. He bumps it into the deep corner.
Dave Jackson talking things over with Matt McPherson before they drop the puck. It'll be Fisher going against Bolland. Left side, Campbell. Leishman with a redirect try by Bolland. And now Campbell, the defenseman, down to the side of the net as it's covered by Carter Hutton.
Bolland gets a piece of that. He's standing just around the face-off circle. He redirects that as it's thrown at the Nashville net from the left point side. I have liked the pace of play of these Predators here tonight. To me, Pete, an important difference in all that is how they play the back-to-back. Again, an afternoon game yesterday. Colorado's a really tough spot to play. That was a tough back-to-back outing for this group. Getting to bed about 2 a.m.
Puck right in front. Perry spins. That was blocked. Coming back across and feeding it through was Kampfer. So Bartley blocked that big shot in front. There's one kicked back of the net by Seth Jones. Kampfer, good keep in. Bartley there working against Dave Bolland. And that shot tipped up off the shoulder of Hutton. Here's Fleischman. Throw it for the front of the net. And Calle Jarnkrok circles back against Thomas Fleischman. And they probably could have called interference there on Victor Bartley. Pass across now for Hutton.
Jones is trying to go across to Cullen, just out of Cullen's reach.
Florida player hit the ice, and the fans all think automatically that should be a penalty, but they're going to call an offside. Not a penalty. 14:31 gone. Third period. Florida continues to lead Nashville 2-1. Our performance moment is brought to you by Bridgestone. Bridgestone, your journey, our passion.
Great feed off the half wall. Mike Ribeiro right to Seth Jones. Seth Jones grabs it, pulls it, pounds it. Through traffic provided by Taylor Beck, and it's in behind Luongo, and Pekka says, hey, kid, terrific shot. That's 5 for you. You're within a goal of equaling last year's total.
Another
6
penalty
goals.
Here. Let's see what this call is.
Here's it's going to go to Florida.
Florida penalty number 82, 2 minutes slashing.
Opetsky draws the minor penalty, slashing. The call against him right off the draw. You see him come down hard. Yeah. James Neal is jumping in to claim that puck. Off the draw. Kopetsky comes down hard. That's a pretty easy call. Head coach Gerard Gallant not pleased with that turn of events. Preds on the power play with the game on the line.
McKenzie against Fisher. McKenzie pulled it back, but now Neal goes to steal the puck away. Flipped by Weber toward Forsberg. And then off the body of Weber, and coming in now short-handed, getting a shot away there, McKenzie.
Too bad. Great retrieval off the draw inside the offensive zone. Kind of an unforced error. Just punch back to an open Florida Panther. Panthers were able to get out of trouble. Upshaw was on the move.
Left point to right, Shea Weber. Philip Forsberg. Fisher was in front. Now it is Neal in front of the net. Fisher out high. That deflected off Fisher. Tries to get it. Forsberg scores! Philip Forsberg ties it up. A power play goal at 15-17. And they're celebrating on the Predators bench as well.
Oh, he is just full of all big-time moments. Terrific play by Forsberg. You love that this one gets thrown at the net early, pushing the attack down lower. Crazy bounce. Fisher recovers, and then it's out to Forsberg. Forsberg in a dangerous spot. They try to front him. Kulikov tries to front him, but far side, Philip Forsberg finds it to tie this game at 2s and to tie himself with Alexander Radulov for the rookie record, 18 goals, most in franchise history by a Predators rookie.
And this with 29 games to play in the season.
Yeah, he's got a little time to best that. You're right about that, Pete.
So the Predators get one shot on net. That was all they needed. And they have tied this one up with 4:34 remaining.
You know, it was interesting talking with Coach Laviolette about this very thing today. You remember we emphasized the team's going to try to employ a little bit more conservative approach, sending one forechecker rather than 2. Again, you're on the defensive side of the puck if you do that. And this applies to this moment. You've got more in the tank come the third period. Again, playing on the back end of a back-to-back. That appears to be bearing fruit. Preds have jumped back into this one in a pretty resounding way.
Icing on Florida. So this is sort of a mirror image of their previous meeting on November 22nd in Nashville, though the roles reversed, obviously road and home. But in that game, the Predators were up 2-0. Florida came back to tie it. It goes to a shootout.
Yeah.
Here, Florida was up 2-0. Predators come back to tie it. And who knows what happens thereafter.
You seem to be suggesting we're going to be hanging out in South Florida a little bit while longer.
I might be suggesting just that, yes.
You're not willing to come out and say it directly, but you're hinting all around it.
Yeah.
I know you well enough to know that.
I am a hinter, yes. Shea Weber comes up ice. Jokinen, the number 1 forward, in. And now Roman Josi sweeps it into the Panther zone. Campbell got it out off the stick of Paul Gaustad. Gaustad looking for it, and it is Jimmy Hayes trying to play it in. Seth Jones broke up that. Anton Volchenkov comes up, drills it into the zone. So Volchenkov will get some more minutes here. The Predators playing with 5 deep. Matthias Ekholm injured, an upper body injury late in the second period, and will not return, we have been told. Shot takes off high by Seth Jones. Campbell turns. He had Beck on one side, Gaustad on the other. This comes then off the skate of Bjugstad. Bjugstad takes the feed, returns to Campbell. Campbell tried to go across, broken up by the stick of Carter Hutton. Eric Nystrom starts it back up ice. Just over 3 minutes remaining in regulation. Game even at 2. I feel like I'm listening to Simon and Garfunkel here. The sounds of silence as that's tipped over the net.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yes. Here's Olli Jokinen, the ex-Panther, putting the brakes on the left board. Punched away before Mike Fisher could make a play, and Fleischmann comes out with it. Roland with Fleischmann going to the net, and the shot is absorbed here by Carter Hutton. So the last time these teams met, November 22nd. Grimaldi, who is not on the roster with the Panthers right now, and then Nick Bjugstad, and Bjugstad tied it up. Philip Forsberg wins it in the shootout. They went 4 shooters deep, not the typical Panthers. What was that marathon they had that Bjugstad ended up with his second shot in the shootout?
How many rounds of a shootout did that go?
18, I do believe, yeah. Here now Ekblad with a shot. Glove stop made by Hutton, taking no chances.
Yeah, smart play. Chance one back to Ekblad right off the draw. He bombs away. There's traffic in front. Good decision to settle things down. And a new unit out there, the Gaustad line. Gaustad to take the draw.
They're going to drop that puck again. It's Gaustad versus Brad Boyes. Well, the Panthers definitely want to prevent the Predators from shooting. Their last 2 shots on goal for Nashville have been goals. Nystrom carries the puck out. Dumps it in as Ekblad forced that. Ekblad had the goal that made it 2-0 on a delayed penalty at 14:27 of the second. That bounces off Seth Jones. Gathered back by Boyes. His shot with a screen set up by Barkov. No. Jonathan Huberdeau. Barkov turns there. Back in the corner against Gaustad. Ekblad lined up for the one-timer. That stopped Huberdeau with the try. And again, Victor Bartley without a stick, but it's not broken, so he's able to retrieve. Boyes rolls it down. Bartley back in pursuit. Ekblad jabbed at it. Nystrom goes, and now it's Gaustad who gives it back to the D-man, Seth Jones. 90 seconds remain here in the third period. Game tied at 2.
Smart plays, conservative plays by wingers. Nystrom and Beck can't win the battle to get it out. Just eat it, play till help arrives. Weber's able to set up behind the net for Nashville to get a full change.
Cullen in the corner, stepped around Bjugstad, could not get around Goodbranson. Onto the wall for Jussi Jokinen. Stopped by Roman Josi. He flips it in. And they're going to call the hybrid icing here against Nashville with 62 seconds remaining.
Josi arguing the call, and I don't disagree with him. I thought he put that into a pretty smart spot. That may have died in the deep corner before it ever crossed the line. But Matt McPherson and Shandor Alfonso worked together to make that call.
To the left side of Carter Hutton. He's faced 33 Panther shots here today. So under a minute to play in regulation. Game tied at 2. Josi uses the boards. Campbell back there ahead of Bork. Left for Ekblad. Predators change up. Olli Jokinen first forward in. Jussi Jokinen for Bjugstad. Bjugstad's long shot took off a little bit on him. Bjugstad going up the right board to the blue line and Ekblad. That block, Jussi Jokinen. Now Bjugstad right in front. They had the man there, but Hayes could not get that to settle down for him.
I have developed a healthy level of respect for...
And offside called on Nashville, trying to break in Fisher.
Nick Bjugstad inside the offensive zone. He's going to come with an initial bid here. Watch there, a little outlet pass to him. Far side. Can't connect with Hayes. Here it is from the other side, reverse angle. Hayes loses it right through the skates. Just prior to that, Bjugstad with a chance of his own up and over the net. Hutton never has to field it.
Rostad versus Boland. Boland shortens up on the stick to give it back to Goodbranson. 17 seconds left in the third. Comes out to center. Tapped by Jones. Olli Jokinen dumps it back in. Rostad goes in versus Kulikov. Olli Jokinen continuing that pursuit. 3 seconds remaining in the period. Fisher tries to take it off the board, and Goodbranson goes down after facing up with Mike Fisher. So we are going to go to overtime here, folks. I know I had only hinted at it earlier. It has become reality. So through 3 periods, it is a 2-all hockey game, and coming back for a maximum 5-minute sudden decision overtime here in South Florida. So here we are going into the maximum 5-minute sudden decision overtime period. Why? Because of what the Predators accomplished in the third period on only 4 shots on net.
Wrapped around Mike Ribeiro with a serious bit of sauce to Seth. Seth pulls the middle, and there, great sight lines. You see that goal, folks? Far side, down low. Luongo never sees it because Taylor Beck's in front of it. And then Forsberg is going to go back to the point, ultimately thrown down low. Takes a couple of crazy hops, one off of Mike Fisher, right over to Forsberg. That's the last guy Florida wants to have handle it from that spot on the power play. Preds, pair of power play goals to knot this one at 2s. Tremendous push here in the third period. There you see the overtime comparisons for the respective opponents here tonight.
Predators in games decided in the overtime period are 5-2. The Panthers 1-4. So it is 4-on-4 hockey with Ribeiro and Smith, Josi and Weber for Nashville, Campbell and Ekblad for Florida. They have Boland working along with Jussi Jokinen as a change ends. If your perspective is thrown off a little bit, here is Boland, and that may have glanced off the glove side, and the Predators come back. It is 2-on-1 now. Josi joins in. Ribeiro to Josi, and what a stop made there by Luongo, and another try deflected up off the glass in the corner. Just 42 seconds in. Great stop by Roberto Luongo. Here's Boland with the try, knocked down. On the change, Florida. Predators breaking up ice 3-on-2. Fisher for Weber, and getting a piece of Weber's shot was Barkov.
Yeah, good recovery, good return back to the defensive zone by Barkov to get a piece of Weber. Jones with a block, he gets it right in the mush.
Huberdeau is shot. Hutton never saw it. Goodbranson keeps it in. He played 1:20 of the 5-minute overtime. Taken out of there by Forsberg. Mike Fisher will drop it back to the D. Seth Jones up ice. Jones down the right side. Forsberg on the other side. The shot by Jones was blocked. Boys has it for Florida. To Bjugstad. Bjugstad holding on, looking for some help. Played away from him by Forsberg. Jab back out to center. And it's Bjugstad giving it now, and across the line, Campbell. Campbell trying to find Bjugstad, a bouncing puck, put in front, and boys couldn't put it away. Here is Ekblad. His shot scooped up by Hutton, wants to keep it going. So Hutton just sort of cested that over for Forsberg. Victor Bartley across the line. Bartley steals, shoots off the glove of Luongo.
Good look for Victor Bartley. Love him activating up into the offensive zone.
Down it comes for the Predators. James Neal on the ice now with Mike Ribeiro. And Fleischman's pass, Ekblad wanted to get out of there, so he did. Fleischman had chased it into his own zone. Goodbranson. So what this has been, huh?
Oh, it's been a great overtime period. All kinds of pace to this one.
Perry with Goodbranson driving down the middle. Perry forced back out high by Shea Weber. This is the defenseman Kulikov on the rush. Knocked down behind the net. Kulikov turning, shooting, and that one out of play. Let's take a look at Yossi's earlier opportunity.
Good opportunity for the Preds here in the early going. Roman Josi from the outside. Off a pass by Ribeiro. Josi activating up into the action. And then later, here's Fisher laying it back to Weber. Just enough. Barkov just able to get in and under the stick of Josi. You like the chances the Preds are able to generate here in the early going. Playing with a little reckless abandon, and why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Started this period, rather the third period, down 2-0. You're pretty much playing with the house's money if you're Nashville.
Are you ever? Fisher building a wall, cutting in on Bolland. His shot was blocked. Going after it down low, Craig Smith, and he tried to center it, but Fisher was not in position.
Fails to connect with Fisher. Leaks all the way through the Florida zone. Neutral ice. Reds have to reform the attack.
Josi down the left side. That deflected into the netting. They have played 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Will they go to a shootout again? Here's what's coming up for Nashville. No TV these first 2 games coming up for Nashville. Tampa Bay Lightning and Winnipeg Jets. Those at Bridgestone Arena. Tickets available at 615-770-7800. First shift of the overtime for Järnkrok. He is on with Forsberg. Bartley and Jones. Huberdeau for Florida. And Kampfer's shot deflected to the corner.
Well fronted by Philip Forsberg. Hangs with Kampfer, takes away the shooting lane, blocks it, sends it to the corner.
Trying to get that back, and they do to Petrovic. Huberdeau back of the net. Tries to come out to the front. Huberdeau. And now a shot by Kampfer deflects away wide.
Kind of a strange chance. Kampfer doesn't get much on it. Hutton almost committed early, but the play goes for naught.
Järnkrok breaking in there against Petrovic. Järnkrok back of the net trying to get his stick free. It is Kampfer for Florida. Kampfer carries to center. Kampfer down the right side. Fires it wide of the Nashville goal. A follow-up shot is blocked. That taken by Pirri. Josi banks it off the end board. Can the Predators do anything in these 5 seconds remaining? Neal with it. 2 seconds. Neal, and can't get a shot away, and we are going to go to the shootout. So the shots in the third period, the Panthers with 3 for a 65-minute total of 36. The Predators with 2, so they have 25. So we're going to go to the shootout, where the Panthers are 5-6 and the Predators 4-4. So we will have our post-game edition of Predators Live after all of this unfolds, and we'll have to see. The Panthers are experienced in going very deep into these shootouts. I'll never forget Panther Radio Man call on all of that, and that we'd have to go back. Randy Moeller on that marathon said, "Now I can go to bed."
Looks like Florida elects to shoot first, and they're going to send out Brandon Pirri, and why wouldn't you? He's riding a 4-game goal-scoring streak. He's got 6 goals in his last 7 games, does the ex-Blackhawk. A hot hand for these Florida Panthers, and buried rather deep in their roster, really. I mean, typically you put him around the third line, playing Bolland in the center, Fleischman on the other side.
So Carter Hutton getting something done to his mask before we get things going with the shootout.
Head athletic trainer, equipment manager Pete Rogers tending to Carter Hutton's mask. I suspect at some point during the action, one of those snaps on the mask is either broken or become dislodged from its strap.
So when they had this shootout in Nashville on November 22nd, Florida used Huberdeau, Jussi Jokinen, Bjugstad, and Boys. All of them kept off the score sheet. Predators used Derek Roy, Ryan Ellis, Craig Smith, and then finally Philip Forsberg had the deciding score. Okay, Hutton is ready to resume. And Brandon Peary will have the first try. 2 out of 3 in shootouts this season. A left-handed shot. Somewhat deliberately working his way in, hesitating, firing, and then I think Hutton caught a piece of that.
Yeah, that's a tough play for a goaltender. You see this little checkup move. He's got a pretty good head of steam coming in over the blue line. Now watch him. He's going to hit the hammers here. Changes the speed at which he's coming into the attack area. Good save by Hutton.
Here now is Matt Cullen for Nashville. Cullen breaking in, hesitates, deeks, and scores! As Matt Cullen puts the Predators up. You talk about a multiplicity of moves there. That's exactly what he displayed.
Remarkable. 86 games of Florida Panther. Double leg kick, double clutching as he goes. And then ultimately, it's just a quick little snapshot. Beats Luongo to the far post. Stick side.
Brad Boys, nothing of 4 in the shootout this season, but he ties it up.
Pretty straightforward. Good approach. Smart play by Boys. Sees a little daylight. Hutton actually catches that on the toe of the stick. He's unable to be strong enough to keep it out. It leaks through the legs.
Here's Craig Smith coming in, hesitating. That's his move, and he backhands it in. He had Luongo almost straining to go across in the splits.
Terrific play. This is one we've seen Smith attempt frequently. A little bit like Peary in this respect. Checks up right there. Forehand, backhand, and then elevates up and above. Luongo bit in a big way. Bjugstad to keep Florida alive.
Bjugstad coming on, Florida down 2-1. And Hutton got a piece of it, but not enough. So Bjugstad does keep the Panthers alive.
Bjugstad, little move to the outside lane, comes back to center. He likes what he sees, 5-hole as well. That's where Boys was successful. He's able to beat Carter Hutton.
Now Josi could end it. It's 2-2 in the shootout. Josi from the angle, moves in, and poke checked by Luongo. We will go to extra time.
Saw Josi execute that move successfully last time he appeared in a shootout, but Luongo does well, tracks with him. He's out at the top of the blue paint, extends to knock it off of Josi's stick.
Here's Dave Bolland. The ex-Blackhawk and Maple Leaf shoots, and staying right with him, Carter Hutton is able to stop it. It's sudden death here now again. Philip Forsberg has the chance to end this one for Nashville. Forsberg beat Luongo in scrimmage for a goal. Here he moves in, and he scores, and it's all over. The Predators take this one in a shootout. Philip Forsberg, as the Predators in the shootout come up with scores from Forsberg, Craig Smith, and Matt Cullen, and they take the shootout 3-2 and the game by that same score.
Big night, Forsberg. Oh, what terrific finish. Forehand, backhand, and then forehand again. He doesn't even elevate. It actually goes off the pad of Luongo and in, but he's got Luongo dead to rights. Luongo has bitten on that second move. Can't get back to recover. That's your winner. Shootout Predators.
So the Predators were trailing 2-0, come back to win 3-2 in a shootout. Post-game Predators Live coming up in just a few moments.